Hello. Let's get this going. Check 1, 2. Holler if you hear me. I can't even hear myself. Hello, hello, hello. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Hello. Okay, I can hear myself. If anyone's out there, give me a heads up. Let me know you can hear me. We'll get this thing going. Hello. Okay, there's 3 people. It's good. Loud and clear. Okay. I think I know who that is. What's up? I am not anonymous. How are you, brother? Well, thanks for tuning in. We are going to get started right on time. We got to be punctual here today in 2024. And I really appreciate, those people that are hopping on and maybe watch this later. If we make that available later, that'll be great. But just to reset, this is Jay Pendleton. I am coming at you live from my office in Austin, Texas, and just outside of Austin. And one of the things that I wanted to do is just kind of clarify a little bit about like who I am, who we are at MTV, and what we're here to do. And so that's kind of the idea today, is just to kind of explain what it is that we do, why we do what we do, who's benefiting from it, hopefully, potentially. And then, from there, we can field some Q&A. All right, so we're 2 minutes in. We've got 3 people plus yours truly, so that's a quorum, and we're going to get started. So I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, and I love Texas, very much on my sleeve, very proud Texan. And if you know me, you know that I'm usually talking about the Cowboys, the Stars, the Mavericks, the Rangers, even the SMU Mustangs. Like, it's very, very much Texas sports, and Texas history has always been a part of my life. I went away after I was 25, and I traveled the world. I kind of quit my job, sold my car, and traveled. And I got a lot of perspective on things outside of Texas. And I think the biggest thing that I learned was the perspective of who I was, right? It's not necessarily realizing that there's a whole world out there completely different than Texas. It's realizing that, how did I show up in an area, in a country where I knew not a soul and I didn't speak the language? So that was really, really important for me. And I bring that up. I brought that up in every interview after I got back and tried to get back into the workforce. It's really important to understand your audience, okay? Because whether you're telling a story, whether you're selling champagne, whether you're in the operating room talking to doctors, you need to know who you are, and you need to know why you do what you do. And I think even though it's taken a while and it's been a long, windy road, I'm finally there. I'm finally back there to where I once was at NuVasive, what I knew exactly what I was there to do, which was deliver on a trust and relationship that I had developed with surgeons, right? And so the trust is built slowly, step by step, brick by brick. You serve your customers, your surgeon customers, your clinicians, the nurses, the scrub techs, the rad techs, everybody in that room, you're there for them. And that's what I did, and I did it well, and I loved it. I was super fulfilled. But that job had a shelf life. We don't need to go into that, but chose to get into management. Today, I'm coming at you with that same kind of vigor and excitement that I had when I was at NuVasive, right? Because I feel very much aligned with the work, and I feel that we're doing something differently, similar to how it was at NuVasive. Things were different, right? We were creating a market, lateral access. That didn't exist before 2003 when NuVasive started that. And when I joined in 2010, it was, kind of sparingly. So point being, today, let's fast forward to today, and then tomorrow, where are we going, right? Who are we today at MedTech Voice? Where are we going? This is not meant to be long. I appreciate those that are hanging on. We're not going to keep you much more than 10 minutes. So appreciate you hanging on. There's 4 or 6, or depending on what the numbers show. Okay. So who am I? Well, I'm a connector. Malcolm Gladwell wrote about connectors and super connectors in his amazing book, Tipping Point. That's who I am. When I met him at CNS in Austin, 2021, I told him that. I said, you've described who I am through and through, at my core. And so essentially, I am a connector. And what I'm doing today with MTV is I will connect you with your best opportunity. I will find in a short amount of time, and even one of the guys on this chat will tell you, I will know exactly the person or people that you need to meet. And I make that connection quick, and I don't expect anything from it. I just do that because the world is small. It's special and it's flat. Thomas Friedman, another great book. The world is flat. So I'm connecting people. And I've always done that. I've always been the person that people come to for advice, whether it's coaching, whether it's managing, whether it's relationship stuff. Whether it's a stranger on a plane, like I will get your life story, even if I don't ask. And maybe that's because I share mine on my sleeve and I'm very open, possibly. But really, it's a gift I feel that God's blessed me with, and finally utilizing it. So I'm a super connector, and I'll connect you with the best opportunity. So park that for a second. LinkedIn is an incredible place. LinkedIn is a network. It's not a resume. It's not an online resume at all. It's a network. Okay. And LinkedIn is the most untapped resource that I've ever heard of because nobody's focused on it. Some people are. More people are than when I started focusing on it in 2021. But even now in 2024, as I sit here, February, whatever we are, February 5th, there are 90% of people on LinkedIn don't post content. 90% of people on LinkedIn just consume. And so when I was faced with a challenge, my whole team was decimated through a riff, and some of us were saved, some of us were given a new opportunity. I realized that my time was limited. And so what I wanted to do was start building new skills. And so I dove in head first, feet first, whatever, into LinkedIn and content creation in 2021. I grew a following from 800 to today it's 13,000. We have 2.5 million eyeballs on the content every 90 days. That's valuable. I don't really care who you are or what your metrics show or what you're looking in terms of the flimsy ROI that social media is. That's 2.5 million eyeballs. All right. And in an economy where attention is the most scarce all day long, you need to get people and their visibility and their attention into your brand, into your story, because stories sell. Okay. So I'm a connector and I've figured out a weapon, the network of LinkedIn. And we are the network. MTV is utilizing the network. The MTV network, the MedTech Voice Network, is multi-generational. We are a multi-generational network that can connect different people depending on what the opportunity is. And I've finally figured out a way to monetize this. So, okay, Jay, how are you monetizing a network? You have 13,000 followers, big deal. Well, today I am working with a unique group of people, surgeons, okay, clinicians, healers. These doctors are incredible because they are doing things that very few other groups of people are doing. They're actually treating and helping people get their lives back. I draw fulfillment from helping surgeons. I always have since 2008 when I joined in the industry. Okay. So now I'm working with them, these surgeons, to tell their story, to grow their practice through storytelling. Because what happens when you see somebody's face and their eyes and they're blinking and they're talking and they're using their motion? You start to get to know them, right? Some of you people have never met me. Some of you people never will, and that's okay. But I like to think that sometimes somebody puts themselves out there, like whether it's Gary Vee or The Rock or Ryan Reynolds and Matthew McConaughey. And no, I'm not comparing myself to these people. Those people are extremely famous. What I'm saying is, in my little world of med device, I hope that you know who I am, and I hope that you know what I represent and who I am and my character. So that right there, that distinction of who someone is, their why, their story, their backstory, that ultimately will lead to digital trust. For those that are still hanging on, we're at 10 minutes in and I've hit the punchline or the payload. It's digital trust. That's what we've built at MTV. We've built it over a course of years. It started with JP. It started with me. And then it's grown into a team of people. Some of them are silent because they have other jobs. AAOS. I like it, T-Max Medical. AAOS is coming. You're 100% right. Are you reading my notes here? Because that's the next step. Where we have closed the loop on I'm a connector with a network of LinkedIn and other socials, but LinkedIn is where I'm focused today, where we're focused today. And we have a multi-generational network of people in the industry that serve this industry, okay? But to close that loop, the other value is the fact that we are now an event planning space. In 1 week, we'll all be in San Francisco. Hopefully, some of you will be in San Francisco, and we'll be there for the AAOS, the big Super Bowl Academy. It's in the Bay Area. I don't know if you've heard, I don't know if you've been, the Bay Area is not what it once was. It's a different place. Okay. It's not safe, even for a guy like me to walk around, but let alone like a petite, female walking in heels. It's terrible. It's a scary place. It's sad. It was once a great place. We are providing a VIP exclusive experience at AAOS adjacent to the conference center at One Yerba Buena. Okay. It's the Field of Dreams model. I reached out to 3 surgeons, prominent surgeons in the industry, orthopedic surgeons. I'm a spine guy, spine experience, but I know ortho as well. And I used to, sell biologics to everyone. So I've reached out to these orthopedic surgeons and they're coming and they're talking and they're going to be there in full force. It's going to be amazing. And so we've got sponsorships now of that event. We still have some sponsorship spots open. If any one of you 3 or 4 people that are still hanging on want to get your logo and get into the MTV flywheel, let me know. But AAOS is a significant signal to the market that we're here as an event coordinator, as an event planning team. So we have the content generation, the strategy behind the content. We have the network that we weaponize and actionize, right? And add mechanics to. We have a distributor network that really don't talk too much about, but that's a powerful one. I just connected a distributor today with another product that needs distribution, right? These are the things that we do behind the scenes. Like I have to stay unbiased at MedTech Voice, at MTV. I have to be the one telling the stories with the surgeons, why they do what they do, what they use, why they use it, what it does for their patients, what it does for their practice. That's MTV, is capturing that story. And in essence, that story will help a surgeon or a clinician grow their brand in their market and grow patients. But then Med Device, that's my client. That's how I'm making money today. Med Device are the ones who are paying for MTV on a monthly basis. So I've figured out a way to weaponize and monetize my network and my connections and my relationships. At MTV, we deal with RFPs in a different way than anyone else. RFPs for us are relationships, friendships, and partnerships. Okay? It's actually a great thing. We love our partners, our surgeon partners, our clinicians. We love them. We love getting to know them, working out with them in their home gym, at their gym of choice. We love having dinner or breakfast with their families, getting to know these people because these are people, right? Just like you and I. Surgeons put their pant legs on one leg at a time. The only difference is that after they put their pant legs on, they go save lives or create gold records. So the ALM guys signed up. Can't wait. Bought a spot. Love it. T-Max, thank you for your support. We're going to wrap in maybe 60 seconds here of what I came to say. I want to give time for questions for anyone out there, the 3 of you that are here. Thank you for staying with me. Hopefully more people will watch the recording and then we'll do this again. I don't know if we're going to do this on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis or whatever, but basically I felt like I'm getting a lot of the same questions. What do you do? Why are you here? Who the hell are you? And how do you make money doing this? Because we see a lot of these cold plunges. We see a lot of stuff. It's all by design. Okay. I'm a content creator. My job is to capture your attention. Not doing a very good job on this LinkedIn live. or excuse me, this YouTube live. I got 3 of you here. But hey, it's better than 0. The first time I did this, 0 people joined. So thank you, the 3 of you. And I'll turn it over to you now at the 15-minute mark. What are your questions? Not all at once. I wish I could see 3 bubbles typing. I hope that some of you are typing questions. Let me know where you're from, city, state. Let me know what you do if you want, and then your question. I am not anonymous. You got something? It took time to build as a startup. We are limited. Okay. All right, Connecticut in Maine. I want to hear how you go to market. I'm right around the corner. Seems kind of creepy. Okay. How we go to market. That's a good question. So we go to market in multiple different ways. The first way we go to market is we tell your story. Like, I don't have my t-shirt on me, but of course I brought one. And the merchandise will be for sale. Story. Okay. How do we tell a story? Well, I've been a storyteller my whole life, and we figure out the content pillars of a story. And it's an evolving thing, and it's not one post or one video message. It's a story. It builds. If you think about a Netflix series, for example, there's 6 seasons with 18 episodes a season, right? And if you dice it up, if you start with the end in mind, which any good storyteller does, or if you start in medias res, which is a little Shakespearean nod to Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad, he starts in the middle with something that nobody knows what he's doing. There's something floating in a swimming pool, and then he starts at the beginning, catches up to the swimming pool, finishes the story. It's called in medias res. There's a lot of different strategies of how we go to market, but we start with the content pillars, strategies. What's important to you? Who do you want the market to know you as? What are the top 3 or 4 things that you represent? Why are they important to you? How do your customers describe who you are? How do you describe who you are to investors, the industry? So you just figure out these points of reference and these opportunities for content, and then you hammer home what works. And you can do some market testing. You can tease out what works, right? That's what we do. That's one way we go to market. The other way we're going to market is now, as I mentioned earlier, through events. Events are big. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of money at these events. If AAOS is your Super Bowl and the booth is a Super Bowl ad, it's super expensive. You've probably blown through all your marketing budget just to get that booth. Then you got to get people there. That's T&E expense. So you're already in, I don't know what that is today. $20,000, $30,000, maybe more, maybe higher for the big booths. Okay. We are giving you just better odds of having some ROI on your sunk investment of an industry. We do what's called big booth energy. We bring it to your booth. All right. So we will go find your target customers or your logos or whoever you were there for, and we'll go get more of them. And we can do that in unique ways because I'm very comfortable and very familiar on the conference room floor. I draw some energy from a big group of people all in the same space. And the riches are in the niches. So we know musculoskeletal. That's where we are focused today. So that's how we go to market. Okay. We're a small startup and we're wondering the investment for working with you. Okay. So in terms of cost, that completely depends on what you want done. We do have kind of a minimum length of our partnership, and we can talk about that. I can send you my email here in the chat. Just let me know. Send me an email, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, if there's not any more questions, we're closing in on 20 minutes. It's at most that I wanted to spend. Yeah, sounds good. See you next week. Send me an email though, just so I know who you are and a little bit more context. So really appreciate everybody hopping on. We're at 20 minutes. I will give one final opportunity for the third or fourth or whoever person to ask a question. Um, and if not, we'll wrap from there. But really appreciate you all hopping on. Hopefully provided some semblance of clarity. It's hot here in Texas, so I don't need my vest any longer. I don't even need this sweater. But really, really appreciate you guys hopping on. So thank you, guys and gals. Have a great rest of your day. We're out. We're going to do this more regularly, a little touch point about who we are, what we do, where we're going as we're building this rocket ship. Cheers.